Hello everyone, welcome back. We're here with part 2 of our Dragon's Maze video review. We're going to finish up Monocolored and start up Multicolored.
Yes.
So once again, Adam,
James.
and let's jump right in with Awe for the Guilds.
Yeah. It's a decent Alpha Strike card in Limited if the situation comes up, but it's a very expensive one in terms of like your aggressive. Well, I guess it's not that expensive, but there are better cards in the set that do that job better, and there are better cards in the other two sets that do the job better as well.
Yeah. There's plenty of these kind of like
get
through all your blockers kind of cards.
Right, like Weapon Surge that will get to Dyna Charge.
Yep. Even the glorious charge from last set, the +2/+2 white one, that was sorcery speed, like that better too.
Yeah, and like there is a lot of monocolored creatures still, so it doesn't totally hose their board.
You're probably neutering like half their guys, maybe, or depending on their board state, maybe most of them.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's fine, but not great. Next up, clear a path.
Completely unmain deckable.
Yeah.
You cannot main deck this card in Limited, but an all-star sideboard card if you do get to against somebody using defenders.
Yeah. There's plenty of good defenders. Like there's plenty of them in the Orzhov Guild, and then you brought up Axebane Guardian, which is an amazing card by itself. So you really want to kill that because usually they're like a card that they're hoping to splash off of. Plus it's a wall, plus it's a speed bump.
Yeah, so. and Doorkeeper can kill you.
Yeah,
Doorkeeper will kill you. So this is like an excellent sideboard card against those kinds of decks. Like a 1/1/1, pretty good. Maze Rusher.
So the red maze guy, which we've seen the other ones before.
Solid finisher in my opinion.
This is probably my favorite one out of the maze guys. He's just like perfect in that top curve, and then he kind of makes some of your other guys awesome as well after that.
Yeah, for sure. Like I had this guy in my pre-release, and like I was always happy when I played him.
Yeah,
just huge, hasty, like killed them. Giving like all your like giant other multicolored guys haste is awesome for that return. Like he's a huge threat on the table. Like it's like a Planeswalker emblem almost. Like all you do is just have haste now. Like really turns the game around and really puts it in your favor.
Yep, I like him.
Possibility Storm.
There's no possibilities.
Nice. Wall of Text. It's very knowledge pool.
Yeah, it's like you trade one for something else.
Yep, I'd rather just put good cards in my deck.
Yeah,
play the good cards instead of hoping to hit them off of playing other cards.
Yeah, you could like do this to like play a small spell, and then maybe you get this huge awesome spell. What if you play an awesome spell into like a rampant growth? It's like, oh, all right, guess I'll play that.
Yeah,
I played my 5-mana enchantment to do that.
I'm sure there are ways to make this useful, but like knowledge pool was never a thing, and it was just a headache.
You have to do so much work to make this card good. Like you could do the library manipulation, like set up your deck, like play a spell into that spell you set up.
Yeah, and this is like so
just play the good spell.
Like, yeah, just play the good spell. Like don't like worry about like trying to get into it.
So it's not playable anywhere. Like maybe in some kind of weird commander thing.
Yeah, I'm sure some commander decks like love this effect. But
next.
Punish the Enemy, awesome card in Limited.
Very good Limited card. It shoots the guy and shoots them all in one. It looks pricey, but it's a big effect.
It's funny how Searing Blaze is 5 mana.
Yeah,
without landfall.
2 mana before.
2 mana now 5. But yeah, Searing Blaze is awesome.
Yeah,
so like
very good.
The fact that Punish the Enemy is a single red is makes it very, very limited playable. Like if you ever get these, value them highly, put them in your decks, they're good.
Yep, I agree. Instant speed, which is nice too.
No constructed applications, unfortunately.
Pyrowild Shaman.
Almost.
Like he's close.
Almost.
Real close. We thought that like the kind of comparison to Squee before was Squee was like totally free to return. And if this was Squee-like in terms of you get it every turn, it'd be amazing.
Right, it'd be fantastic. It'd be playable for sure.
But now he has 2 clauses you have to hit and you have to pay 3, and it's an absolute bomb in Limited because just every turn you get to like make a guy big,
Right.
But
so it's like you're hoping you have 5 mana every turn, so you just like Blood Rush, hit, and then bring this guy back. That's a lot of mana.
But I don't see him in constructed.
Yeah, and the Blood Rush isn't really that like ridiculous either. It's +3/+1.
When you compare it to like the Wrecking Ogre and
Yeah, like
Corpland Rampage.
For a few more mana, you get like way better.
Yeah.
Way better Blood Rush. So almost. If he was a little easier to like recur, or like the Blood Rush maybe stronger, he might have had some potential.
Yeah.
Awesome and limited.
Yeah, crazy limited. Riot Piker, really like this guy in limited.
Yeah, I do
Perfect
too.
for the battalion mechanic.
I really wish he had haste or something.
Yeah, haste would be amazing, but guys with first strike are very valuable in the battalion because you're usually smaller, so first strike allows you to kind of trade up a little bit. So
I'm hoping this guy might be able to fit in like a mono red deck. But like, there's so many 2-drops.
Yeah, there's too many good 2-drops. Like he just fights for Ash Zealot, and Ash Zealot's like way better.
Yeah, but like I was trying to put him against like Corehouse Chainwalker.
Oh yeah,
which is a 3/2, so it's like 1 of power, but you get first strike. It's
both can't block. That kind of makes sense. They're kind of even there.
Right, but this guy attacks each turn if able, so like you can not like suicide your Chainwalker if you choose not to.
Yeah,
this guy's kind of like, oh, I'm coming on in. So
and you can always not. You can leash your Chainwalker and have a 2/1.
Yeah, you could still have a 2/1 that can chunk.
I think Chainwalker's probably still better. Yeah. Rubble Belt Maka.
Weird name.
Yeah.
Weird looking cat.
It's a cat. It's a giant cat. So it's a hill giant.
Wait, how many eyes does he have?
I don't know. A lot of eyes. Multiple.
So it's like a spider cat?
Yeah.
I thought it had 2 eyes. It's got like 6.
Yeah, it's got a bunch.
Wow. And it's like hunting naked people or something. I don't know.
So it's a hill giant that happens to have a blood rush. So he's good. He's fine in your limited deck. He's not constructed at all.
No. Like Corpland Rampager is way
it makes him look silly.
Very silly. But I would play him in my limited deck.
Yeah, no, I mean,
nothing wrong with it.
Hill Giant has been playable in limited forever. So, and this guy is Hill Giant plus something.
Yeah, right.
Red Gatekeeper?
Red Gatekeeper is good.
Yeah, probably my favorite, my personal favorite. The free threaten is huge. And, and you get a decent body afterwards.
You do.
Yeah, you can totally blow him out with the turn you play him.
Yeah, I think this guy's very good. Limited.
Again, I say the 4 gates would be good, but...
Yeah, 4 gates is like mandatory to play this card in your limited deck.
And then last card in red is Weapon Surge.
So much better than Off for the Guilds.
Yeah, so look at our first red card and look at this card. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like, instant, make some of you guys bigger, make sure you guys, like, kill their guys.
Yeah, this card's really good.
You can have board states where you just one-sided wrath them with this card.
Oh, yeah.
For 2 mana.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
really
crazy good. I would definitely play one of these in my limited deck every chance I can get.
Yep.
This card's awesome.
And it's common, so it's going to come up pretty common. So moving on to green.
Battering Crisis. It's the first green card.
I like this artwork quite a bit. I like his hammerhead beast kind of guy.
Yeah, it's very awesome artwork.
And he's really good too.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like cheap, relatively cheap guy. Trample, evolve. Like I like the fact that he's a 2/1 evolve, so it's like really easy to evolve him.
Yeah.
I think they did that well.
Yeah, they flipped a lot of the stats because a lot of the first evolve guys were kind of beefy on the toughness.
Right.
And then this guy is low on the toughness, so when you build your Simic deck now with all 3 packs, it's going to be nice.
Really sweet.
His, really sweet curve and giving a Simic guy trample is huge because a lot of times you'll get them nice and big, but then they just get chump blocked.
Right.
So trample allows you just.
This guy's 100% a mainstay in like any kind of evolve archetype mechanic, limited deck, whatever you put together. You want this guy. He's good. He's very good.
Next up, we have the Crow Warrior. He's fine. You play him in your green deck. You can play him in Simic. You can play him in Gruul and be had with it. He's a grizzly bear that sometimes has an extra thing.
Grizzly bears make their way into your decks in limited because you need bodies, and the fact that he has an ability, like you said, it'll come up once in a while and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Something to put your mana into each turn so that you're not just like doing nothing. Maze Behemoth.
So the last of the behemoths.
The green one. Definitely probably the second best.
Yeah, I'd say second best. So he's the other one that has a good stats. Probably the best stats. Like the red is 6/3, which is more power, but he kind of dies to a lot of things.
He dies to a lot of things.
The 5/4 is pretty nice.
Yeah, he's pretty beefy. And like just trample's like super huge.
Yeah, trample's huge, especially in green where you always have big guys. Your other big guys will get trample now.
Yeah, slightly better in Gruul because I feel like a lot of Simic cards do have trample.
Yeah, cool. There's a lot of them are flying too. So
yeah.
So he's definitely best at, I'd say, in Gruul, like you said.
Right. Mending Touch.
I'm gonna try like hell not to play this card. It's just if you have to play this card, you are really trying to get some playables.
You need some playables. I mean, you can like suicide a guy and like make a favorable trade and then generate.
Yeah.
It's like a combat trick that's like almost a combat trick. Like if someone's making a poor attack, like you know they're gonna have something.
Right.
So why would you like fall into it or like become prey to it? I don't know.
Yeah, and you're already in a color which already has. We have giant growth in this block. Like
right. There's much better stuff.
It's not even comparable. Like,
yeah. This card is so overshadowed by the real cards.
So Mutant's Prey, I think this card's very good.
This card is
when it's good.
Very good, yeah.
In the decks that want it, it's disgusting.
In Simic and Rakdos, you can get such huge favorable blowouts. Like, it's just a straight up removal spell.
Yeah.
And, like, 1 minute instant speed, is crazy. Yeah. Like, +1/+1s are very easy to come by in this block, so this card's really good. It's just funny that we have Pit Fight and this.
Yeah, it's weird that they gave us 2 of the same kind of card, but...
Yeah, if you get both, you're winning that draft.
Why not? So now we have a Fido Burst.
Yep.
It's fine and limited. Definitely, it's like +5/+5 is not nothing to scoff at. It's sorcery speed, so you can't do anything tricksy with it. But I don't think it's good enough to see anything else besides that.
If this came out when Infect was still around,
oh yeah, when it was standard,
might have been a broken card.
Yeah, that would be disgusting.
Yeah. Otherwise, just like you said, I'd rather have instant speed things I can use in response, tricks to keep my guys alive versus just like hoping to put some damage through. And honestly, this could have been like +1/+4 and trample, and it would have been much more playable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like the fact that sorcery is such a huge drawback, like.
Yeah, I hate sorcery pump spells. Like they're awful.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fine and limited, but
that's about it.
That's about it.
And generally, if you want to use it, you want to use it on like a guy with trample because like you're flying. Yeah, it's something you know it's going to get value.
Right.
So we have a rare evolve guy here.
Renegade Krasis.
One of my favorite arts for the set so far. I do like this guy quite a bit.
Yeah, he looks really cool.
He's like a weird like planty beast guy with like a bunch of tentacles.
Yeah, I like the story behind him too. Like when they did like the article for him, he was like a little like pet that escaped.
Okay.
And they just like started eating everything and evolving.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why he's like so big in the artwork, but he didn't start that way. It's really cool.
So the card itself is very good and limited. It's an absolute bomb and limited.
Yeah.
I feel like it's close to being standard worthy.
It's very close.
Like it's close.
Like 3 mana is kind of a lot.
It's 3/2 for 3 mana, so like he himself is like pretty decent stats. In the first evolve, he's a 4/3. Then we're getting first evolve, he's already under cost at that point.
Yeah. I think he has potential, but it's gonna need a little time to see. Like I said, if like some evolve deck ever comes to be in standard with like Cloudfin Raptors or Experiment Ones, like this guy could find a home there. Because he's like another late
any of the Undying guys like seem like they're really good with him. Like you could have like a deck with like Strangler Geist in it, in this guy, and then like you evolve the Crassus with the Strangler Geist in play. He gets bigger.
Yeah, but then he can't undie.
Well, yeah, but like he would already have died once anyways because if he has a counter on it.
Yeah, if you like triggered the evolve for the I mean, making your guys big is awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that he's double green leads him to be like in a mostly green deck. So
right. Yeah.
You would see him with Stringer Geists if you saw him with anything.
Yeah. So the last Gatekeeper is my least favorite.
Ceruli Gatekeepers?
Yeah, Ceruli Gatekeepers.
7 life for 2 gates.
Yeah. It's fine. You play it. The 2/4 is still nice.
Yeah. The fact that they're all 2/4s though, like, does make this one of the worst ones because like some bring more power, some bring card advantage, and some like just take your 6/3. Like this one's just a 2/4 and some life. Like,
least exciting. So Skylasher, a really awesome card. Cool,
very powerful.
Cool design. Like I like the whole concept of this like crazy big bug, but it doesn't seem like it is the right time for this card. Like
this is supposed to be an eternal card.
Yeah,
this is made for Legacy.
Yeah, because this is like if this was in standard when Delver was popular or when Fairies was popular,
this would be really good.
Fantastic,
really good.
But right now, there's like nothing blue that you really want to like surprise.
I mean, maybe when Aetherling gets popular.
Yeah, but it doesn't kill Aetherling at that.
It doesn't, but it blocks it forever, right? Like
no, because Aetherling you can give unblockable.
That's true.
So, I mean, the turn they attack, if they don't give it unblockable, then yeah.
Exactly like a future conversation. Like, how do I beat Earthling? What if I use this card? No, because then it just goes unblockable.
Yeah. I don't know.
Looking forward to that one.
So I think this card is good enough to see older formats. Like, it's a lot of abilities on a bear.
It is.
You know, it's pretty tough. It's got a lot of cool like things that, and especially like Legacy, and if Fairies ever becomes a deck in Modern, then this card becomes like, really, really good.
Yeah, the only thing is that it's competing with Scrib Ranger.
Yeah, it's competing with Scrib Ranger pretty bad. So like, I don't see it play in Maverick, which is one of the bigger green decks in Legacy.
Right.
Because Scrib Ranger is just better with the like synergy of the deck.
Yeah, it's like made for Legacy, but like not pushed enough for Legacy.
Yeah, and it's only good in a few matchups. You know. Like,
yeah.
This card looks pretty laughable in any like combo matchup or show and tell matchup or anything like that.
Yeah, it's tough. Like if Delver was a thing, this card would be fantastic. I mean, but it's not a thing.
It's pretty good against fish.
Let's hope you don't have any islands.
Yeah, well, that would be a problem. I'll just kill my own islands.
Then again, like Swords to Plowshares and Nether Earth are still good against fish. Yeah. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
Thrashing Moss Dog.
So this is our last green card, Thrashing Moss Dog.
Yep.
He's good. I like him. He's fine in the Golgari guild.
Yeah.
You know, even in your other Gruul decks, he's fine.
He's
another Hill Giant variant.
Yeah, most Scavenge guys are very fine and limited.
Yeah.
Because like you're gonna get more value out of them than you thought you would. You know, they're gonna be a dude. They'll do a little attacking and blocking, then die, and then help you out again. So like
his Scavenge is a little bit more than I'd like to pay. Like 4 or 5, where I would be much happier.
Right. But it'll come up, and you'll pay it, and you'll be happy with it because you'll probably kill your opponent or something.
Yeah.
You play it because you need dudes, and he's fine. He'll attack and block.
So, Multicolored.
Moving on.
The meat of the set.
Yes. The reason we're all here.
Steak and potatoes.
Oh, delicious.
Advent of the Worm. This is a new Restoration Angel kind of thing.
I love this card.
Kind of better, kind of worse.
I definitely see it being played.
Yeah, I think it's going to be C play, and I think it's going to see more play once Resto Angel's gone.
Yeah. I mean, it is double green and white, so like
a little tough to call. Yeah,
pretty Selesnyan.
Yeah, you could maybe be Naya, like very light splash Naya.
Yeah. But this card is like really strong, like instant.
Really good with mana dorks, like bam, turn 3 guy, turn 3 worm.
Really good with Intangible Virtue.
Yeah, sick with Intangible Virtue, like.
The fact that trample vigilance.
The fact that the worm has trample makes the card like really pushes it. Like
it does push it.
If it was just a 5/5 vanilla, it would still be good, but it wouldn't be as good. The trample is ridiculous.
Yeah, and there is some bounce, but there's not enough bounce going around to warrant this being like too risky.
I think this is the main balance for this card. If this card starts going up, I think you're gonna see Unsummon go way up because then it's just a gross answer to this card.
Yeah, as of right now, Unsummon's like almost not playable.
Yeah, nobody's playing it. Yeah.
So, like, if this card comes up, Unsummon might become more of a thing. But I think this card's very good. I think it will see play at some point in its future.
Yeah.
And
it's relatively inexpensive right now. Pick some up, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is our very first split card.
Live and well.
So it's kind of a cool thing that they brought back split cards. They were really popular. It was very weird when we first saw those the first time. But they all have this new fuse thing, which I think was a great idea.
Right. Instead of one or the other, you can do both as well.
You do both. Just add the two casting costs together, and magically you got a super spell.
There's so much value in these split cards. Like, it's like 2 cards in your deck for 1 card.
Yep.
And you get whatever side you want, but at the same time, I feel like they had to tone them down quite a bit.
Yeah,
because they knew it could be too much if they put.
They're generally not as powerful as the 1/2 would be if it was a 1 card. Like they added a mana cost probably to both. Is generally how they did it.
This is how you balance it, right? You make them. You have to make the cards worse.
So the first one, Alive Well. It's fine. I think it is a better card if a token strategy becomes a deck. But it's definitely decent and limited. Very good limited.
I think it's really unlimited.
Especially if you can cast both halves in your deck, it becomes really, really good.
And like you said, in some kind of like tokens deck, if that exists, you can cast Alive against, or well rather, against like a mono red match and gain a ton of life.
Yeah, a ton of life. 10 life is an unheard of
for one white. Thanks, GG. So, it has potential. Yeah. That side has potential.
Yeah. The Centaur side is fine.
It's fine, but it's too expensive.
How many Hill Giants can we see in this set?
Like Call the Conclave is
2 mana.
2 mana.
Same card
for same thing.
Yeah, literally same card. Green Centaur. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so Armed and Dangerous.
Much stronger and limited.
Much better card.
Armed is pretty good.
Yeah, Double Strike is sick.
Double Strike is always awesome.
So it's essentially like if you put this on a bigger guy. So like if your ideal scenario, you're throwing this on a Gruul guy, you essentially can 1 mana Wrath them because you're gonna put on like a 4/4, give it a 5/5 Double Strike, then they have to all block it. Mm-hmm. It's just blowout central.
Oh yeah.
So
I might play this in my Zerta Ancient deck.
Yeah, you might be able to actually.
Yeah, like giving something Double Strike is huge.
Yeah,
things are massive to begin with. Yeah, I mean, I could see somebody like Fringe playing this in a constructed deck just because they want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And it is good and limited. Played and limited. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. The lure thing is huge. Like that.
Yeah, lure is awesome too.
That makes combat very bad for your opponent.
Yeah, I mean,
and green generally needs a removal, and this is perfect removal for a green deck.
Yeah, I mean they also got the 2 fight cards now. Like green's got a lot of removal.
So next up we have a very bland card.
Vanilla 4/6.
Vanilla 4/6 for 5 mana.
For 5.
It's fine. You'll play it.
You'll play it in limited. Nowhere else.
Yep.
There's no interactions to be had.
Nope. He's an elf. Maybe if that's relevant somehow. But
he's a knight for your knight decks.
Yeah.
Mid exemplar. This guy.
Next,
Ascended Law Mage.
Much better.
Very good.
Excellent and limited. Really good stats. 3/2 flying hexproof is very good. Tough to deal with.
Sweet Cipher Enabler.
Yeah, very good Cipher Enabler. The only thing I would say is down on him is the 3/2. Does trade down to a lot of the other flyers.
Yeah,
because there's a ton of 2/2 flyers in the set.
Like the 3/1 First Strike Eagle.
Yeah, well, that's really bad.
Yeah. Could have been a little fatter.
So like
he might be too good at that point.
He dies all the Wind Drakes and stuff, but in this deck, generally in the blue-white, you're going to have a good glut of flyers. So he's kind of like one of your higher ones. So maybe you've traded off one of your lower flyers at that point, anyways.
The thing is, like in a draft, like you're never going to play this over the Rock.
Oh yeah.
The 4-mana Rock that bounces creatures. Like he's just way better.
He's way better. Yeah.
So this is fighting in that slot, but at the same time, like it's a playable. You can definitely play it. Beck and Call, aka the new modern elf combo deck.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe. It would be sweet if modern, like, this card basically generated a new deck by itself. Because all the elves are there. All the legacy elves are there, minus a few of the
broken ones.
That aren't, some aren't even elves, some are insects. Like in the legacy deck.
Yeah, but weird deck.
The mana engine of Heritage Druid and Nettle Sentinel and all that is there.
It's there, yeah. You have Visionary still.
Yeah, you still get Visionary.
You do have Scrib Ranger for bouncing.
Yep, and you have Arch Druid to like pump and make a ton of mana.
Yeah, it's like they banned Glimpse. They're like, all right, we know we killed the deck now, but hold on.
Yeah.
We'll attempt to give you something.
We'll tack on a blue mana, and here you go.
Yeah.
So
ready to slow it down.
It looks like it could be good. Like I think that the format has slowed down.
The thing is, it is different from Glimpse. You can't forget that.
Yeah, it is
because it's when a creature enters the battlefield.
Right.
Glimpse is when you cast.
Yeah.
So like when you fetch land for that Dried Arbor, which you can do in Modern,
yes,
you will get the draw card.
Right.
It's worth noting.
Definitely. And then the other half, which is very much less exciting than Beck, is Call, which is for 4 birds.
Some seagulls or something.
So I think that half of it is fine in limited. Because 4 guys, out of a card is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then maybe you'll have the full 8 mana to do the full
draw some cards
full
too.
Craziness. But this card's main draw is Beck. It will see Beck. It will see the play as Beck.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same issue with a lot of split cards. Like you really just want one half. Like one half's gonna be playable.
Yeah,
the other half's like meh.
I think some of the split cards are really thought out to be a duo, and then some were like, oh, we had a great idea for a card, and we can make it a split card if we just tack on this other thing.
Right.
So
Yeah. I don't think it's going to have any standard applications.
Not as of now. I mean, maybe the next set will get something cool.
Maybe.
That would make it nuts, but
it does interact well with tokens. Like, you know, if you could somehow make like a bunch of mana with tokens.
Yeah.
At the same time, you could make something happen. But I'm not sure if that exists in our format. I don't think
not in those colors. Like you have like the red mana one.
Yeah, you can like battle him
yeah.
and like then play Krenko's command and like make a bunch of dudes and whatever.
That's like that's like rug colors and then,
yeah. Well, I mean, how are you gonna get your blue and green? Like it's pretty red heavy at that point, and that's already a deck. You know, like maybe it wants this card. I don't know.
Hopefully somebody will break that in standard. It would be sweet.
That would be awesome. We need combo decks in standard.
So this is one of my favorite cards out of the set for limited applications for the Simic. Battle Form Mage.
Beetle form?
Beetle form, I'm sorry. Beetle form.
Yes.
Because he is a beetle himself. So it's a 2 mana, it's a 3 mana 2/2. But it has this awesome ability of like paying 2 mana, he goes a 4/4 flyer.
Yeah, I really like these guys because Sim's got a couple of them now.
Yeah.
This guy, Frilled Oculus, and I think there's another one.
I'm not sure. Probably. I mean, they have all these cool guys that have pumps.
Yeah, I think these are awesome. Good mana sinks, you know, like threats by themselves. They make your opponent play into them.
Yep.
Because they're such a threat, they need to like do something about it, and then that plays into your hand in turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy's huge. This guy's big.
Blocks extremely well too. Like you can keep him back. You know,
and he flies with the pump, so like he gets through damage. Like this guy's very good.
Yeah, he'll eat almost any other flyer.
Yeah, 4/4.
Like all those Azorius flyers are just like die to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, we have a Blast of Genius. I don't like this card at all.
I mean, people are going to be like, oh, discard my Emrakul, 14, pick 15, you know, like, discard my World Spine Worm.
You're already paying 6 mana at that point. Like, you could have, like, cheated him either of those things into play.
Yeah, in older formats, yeah.
I don't know. It's 6 mana for a removal spell that's not guaranteed is like a waste of time.
Yeah, I do really like this card in Limited, though, because, you know, you do get a draw, which is sweet, and you potentially kill something. So it's like a solid 2-for-1.
Yeah, it's definitely like you could play it in your limited deck, but I'm not sure if it's that good. Like it's really close to being unplayable.
I mean, no more than a 1-of if you have one. Like never get more than a 1, and like never valued over like actual solid creatures or removal spells.
I mean, like I could see it if your draft deck had like some Electromancers, you know, cheapen it up a little bit, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Now I'm more excited about this card.
Yeah, but then again, you're also like, is it pretty bad?
It can be good. It's just you just have to like draft it pretty tight.
It's a good support guild.
It's definitely not my favorite. I mean,
it's a support guild. It's not really a mainstay, in my opinion.
Right. You know, we're going to get like aggravated Izzet players now. Like, Izzet's the best. What's this guy talking about?
Suck. Well, he was played to be.
He said about me. So next up, we have Blaze Commando. I think this guy really wants to be awesome, but he's like just a little bit off.
He's nervous. He's nervous.
I think he's really good. You think he's totally playable and limited. Totally, you know, good stats for his power toughness. But and he has this cool ability that come up very rarely, like maybe once a draft night.
You like really want to like run away with the game with this guy. Like just play a whole bunch of stuff and like you get some tons of knights and like kill them the next turn.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but there's just not enough direct damage.
There's not enough instants and sorceries that you want to deal direct damage in limited. You know, like and most of them that do direct damage are probably killing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have the luxury to like throw things at people's faces. And when you do, like you're already winning, so you're in win more territory at that point. And as for like a constructed application, like it's really expensive. And like the deck that looks like this, where you got this guy and a bunch of removal spells, like why don't you just not play this guy, play like an aggressive 4-drop and kill them before it even matters.
Yeah, like you read his ability and you go like, oh man, that'd be sick in a form where we have like Lightning Bolt and like Helix and all these cheap, awesome burn spells, but then you go like, oh wait, I can't play a 5-mana creature in that format.
Right, you want to play low lands and you want to kill them before like you even get to 5 mana.
It's just not relevant. Right. So like he's okay, you know, you'll play him in your Boros deck, especially like his value goes up if you have like a good smattering of burn spells.
Right.
But if you don't, then he becomes pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean you could just play Spark Trooper if you really wanted to, and he's going to be way more damage.
Yeah, way more damage, way bigger swing.
I really like what they try to do. I really like the effect. I wish it was a little more reliable and a little more usable outside of something like limited.
Okay. Yep, I agree.
Moving on.
Moving on to Adam's favorite card. This card is awesome.
Blood Baron of Vizcopa.
I can't say enough good things about this card. I just
I
gush all over the place about this card.
I definitely want it to be the next Batterskull.
It might be.
It's pretty good.
It might be.
This card is pretty good. Very hard to kill. Pretty much immune to all removal except for red removal.
Yeah. So, Mizium Mortars is like the premier removal for this guy.
Yeah.
But that is about it.
That is about it. Other than that, you got a
Double
Supreme Verdict.
Spear.
You got a Supreme Verdict, this guy.
Yeah,
You got a
dies
board
of sweepers, but whatever.
Sweepers, yeah.
Everything dies of sweepers.
I really don't like a secondary effect. I don't think it does anything.
It's like a win more effect, but whatever. Fine. If I get a 10-10 now, you're dead now.
It does have the benefit of all right, hit you one more and you're dead. Just out of nowhere, it's
right.
10. Okay, you're just dead. Just die. Go away.
No, I really like this guy. If anybody watched the Reanimator video, you saw me anytime he was in play, it was ridiculous.
I helped.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah, this guy's very good. He's going to see play, constructed play.
Yeah, 100%.
Be ready to go against this guy. The issue is about finding where to put him.
Yeah,
I think Junk Reanimator is a good start.
Junk Reanimator is a good start. I'm also working on another deck. Hopefully, it'll be in my article this week, talking about this guy in a new deck.
Yeah, maybe an Esper finisher.
Could be an Esper finisher. Yeah, I mean, it seems like an awesome sideboard card for Esper. Well, against any aggro deck.
The issue is that it's the same man as Obsidian.
Yeah,
if your deck's capable
he's
of
a heck of
casting
a lot easier to cast than Obsidian.
He is, but if your deck's capable of casting Obsidian, don't you just want Obsidian?
Kind of. I don't know, man. I think he's better than Obsidian. I really do. This guy doesn't die to anything. Obsidian dies to putrefy, murder.
He does. He does, but he kills your opponent a lot faster than this guy does. But then again, this guy's way more defensive. You can actually block, and it makes their comment step just halt.
Yeah.
So I think they both have strong merits, but this guy's very good.
They do fight. They do fight the same slot. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of the deck on which one wants which one.
Right. Yep. This guy was who play. Keep an eye on it. Boros Battle Shaper.
Meh.
Nope. Way too expensive.
Way too expensive. A really cool ability. I like that you can totally essentially control all combat.
Right.
But you don't control all of combat. You just control one of each side of combat. So you still can't totally go aggressive right away.
Yeah.
If the board's totally clogged, you still have to hold back.
Right. Again, it's a Boros card that's 7 mana.
Yeah, so it's not really a Boros card at that point.
Yeah.
But
no.
Unfortunately,
it's a rare.
Unfortunately, not. I actually started my pre-release with this guy and then cut him after round 1. It was just I'm never gonna cast him.
It's so impossible to cast. He doesn't do anything until you
I got him in play once and he still wasn't even that great. The board was so clogged that I was just I want a cheaper spell.
Yeah. Something that kills something or something.
Breaking and entering. New glimpse.
Almost. 8 versus 10 is really relevant when you're trying to mill somebody.
Yeah, you're talking about a big difference.
Yeah, it's a very large difference. I'm way more excited for entering, honestly. I think it's a modern enabler.
It's pretty big. When I first read that, I think you did too. You saw you grab a creature from any graveyard, it gains haste, and then everybody just assumes you sack it at end of turn.
Yeah,
but it doesn't say that. You just get it.
You just have it. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is a sorcery, so you gotta play around a little bit, which creature you get. But I think it's pretty sweet in modern. It might have potential, but the fact that they banned Seething Song really holds it back. So we'll see.
It's tough. I'm not sure how you're gonna get it into. How are you going to fit it into your deck without some kind of big mana ramp spell?
Yeah, which are running pretty short stays.
Yeah, they're getting cut back quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's a card to watch.
It is. Yeah. Bred for the Hunt. I think this card is potentially standard playable.
It's really close, in my opinion. Really, really close. It works good with the Undying guys. It works good with the Evolve guys. And, a lot of those guys are in those colors.
It slides right into the Renegade Krasis deck.
It very well could.
Cloud Raptors, Experiment 1s, all that kind of stuff. And then you top end with the Bred for the Hunt and Alpha Strike and draw 4 cards.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable to draw 3 to 5. It's just insane.
As soon as you draw 3, you've broken even with a 3-mana card, and suddenly it's just all 100% upside value.
Yeah, and then you don't even care if they wrath you because now you have a full grip. You play some more guys.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's an enchantment, so it's a little harder to remove, and it sticks around.
Yep, sweet card.
Sweet card has a lot of potential.
Bronze Beak Moa is next up.
As does this guy. I like this guy a lot.
Yeah, I think he can like be broken. I don't have an idea right now.
Gotta do some gather searching.
Yeah, I gotta do some brewing, but it's pretty gross. It's a crazy good bomb in limited because like you're pretty much playing a guy every turn.
Right.
So you're attacking for 5. Seems good.
Yeah, think of it as a 4-mana 5/5 that dies to removal that hits 2/2s.
Yeah, it's not quite a 5/5.
Not much of a defensive creature, but an extremely offensive creature, and most of the time that's where you want to be in limited.
Yeah, and then he has this crazy like upside of like maybe he's an 8/8 for a turn.
Oh god, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh jeez, and he's multicolored, so he interacts with all the maze dudes.
He's also a card like I think he's close to being like constructed playable, but like if he is, it would be in a deck that like makes him broken. Like he was a 20/20 with trample and you die. Like it's some kind of like token generation like rapid fire thing that boosts him quite.
Hopefully that'd be cool.
Maybe like Assemble a Legion.
Oh Jesus Christ!
What?
Whoa! I'll get 3 dudes.
Yeah.
Give my Moa +9/+9 get Chocobode.
Yeah.
What you can do about that?
So we'll see. Maybe we'll come up with something there.
Next up is Carnage Gladiator. Awesome Rakdos guy.
Yeah, really good in Rakdos. It's the kind of card that it really wants because a lot of Rakdos is like really early, and then you gotta like kind of fight that last bit of damage because they start to stabilize.
Yeah.
Well, this guy kind of like screws that up for your opponent because they're like, oh, I got all my blockers set up, and then you play this guy, and they're like, oh crap, I have to take 5 because I have to block.
Right.
But I'm F5. Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, like this guy does everything Rakdos wants to do, and it's extremely flavorful. Like most of the Rakdos cards are like right on spot with like what Rakdos is all about in terms of storyline, all that kind of stuff. And it makes blocking horrible, another thing Rakdos really wants, and his attacking and blocking is good.
Yeah, it's
hard to kill.
It's nice to actually have a Rakdos guy that can block well.
Yeah, right. Like Anyway, he's good. It's good.
Not constructed though.
Too expensive. Expensive. On both his cost and his effects, too expensive.
Yep.
Next up, we have Catch and Release. Another split card. Catch is cool. Take any permanent, which is pretty sweet.
We're getting the Zealous Conscript ability on a spell now.
On a spell,
just take any permanent.
Yeah, I still like Zealous Conscript better because it attacks.
Right.
And Release, on the other hand, is just a white-red pox effect.
Yeah, white-red super pox that costs 4 times as much.
Right, that they're going to have plenty of extra things to sack anyway.
Right. I mean, if this card could be disgusting if we can like cheat it or get into play quicker or like, reduce the mana cost.
Possibility Storm?
Yeah. So like, if you can break the card, yeah, you're going to have something cool, but your deck's going to have to be like built in such a way that it takes advantage of that. And I just don't see it right now. Like if there was all kinds of like Flagstone of Trocaire, like that kind of stuff, where you could like sack all your stuff, get value.
Right.
They sack their stuff, they don't.
Yeah.
But,
and I don't see Catch as being much of a thing. Like people like Zealous Conscripts because it can take any permanent, but because it's also a dude. It has like double the value. Where this just takes one thing and then you just get one thing.
Yep.
Council of the Absolute.
So clearly a card that Wizards printed to like continue to hose or try to hose the Mirror Match Sphinx's Revelations.
Yeah.
And then has the kind of Meddling Mage thing tacked on too.
Yeah, I feel like this card's going to see play.
Not for me.
Not for you, no. I feel like it will see play, but it's funny where like people are going to choose this versus Notion Thief.
Yeah.
Because like they're kind of similar, like they're kind of like Force Sphinx's Revelations or like Guides to Saint Traps or something like that. Like they can't play theirs and you can play yours.
Right.
Yeah. Other than those like niche situations, like it's like almost never gonna be played. Like it's just gonna be 2/4. It doesn't attack, or I mean, it sort of blocks okay, but like it doesn't attack well. And like, what are you gonna name? Like you can play against a red deck, and you're gonna name like Spearing Spear, and then it dies to Visiting Orders, or like many Visiting Orders, and then it's just like Searing Spirit.
Yeah, it seems pretty bad in most of the aggro matchups. Like this seems like it really shines in any kind of like mid range or control on control.
Right, I feel like it's going to be a mid-range thing because in control mirrors you can just play Duresses, like just if you want to win the Sphinx War, like just take their Sphinx. And also Sphinx Wars really don't exist in control mirrors.
It's pretty irrelevant at that point. Like the Drown Yard is really the key card.
It depends. Like if it's Esper versus Esper, it's all about the Drown Yards.
Right.
Like you almost like want to board out Revelations.
Yeah.
But if it's like blue or red versus Esper, then like Revelation becomes pretty
huge,
important. Pretty important. Yeah. Anyway, Deadbridge Chant.
So this is my least favorite mythic so far.
Oh,
it's just bad.
Maybe in a while.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's an EDH card probably. Like, you can just play Grizzly Salvages and Mulches and get exactly what you want instead of maybe getting the creature you want.
Yeah, and then in like Commander, you can just play Buried Alive and put 3 awesome guys in your graveyard.
Right, get exactly what you want.
Play.
If it was like a Scavenge Enabler, it's a poor one because you could just play out your Scavenge dudes and like attack with them, and then they die, and then you Scavenge, so you get like twice as much value out of your Scavenge guys. Like 6 mana.
I just don't see it. I really don't.
No, this is definitely a.
So James has some experience with this card.
Dead to the Deathless. I won multiple games with the pre-release with this card.
You did. I saw you personally fireball somebody for like 8 or 10 with this thing.
Oh yeah, I like this card. I really would like it to be constructed playable, but the fact that it's 4 before the X is pretty.
That's a tough one.
Pretty tough.
That's a tough one.
And so it's not going to do anything until like turn 5, and then on turn 5 it's only 2.
Yeah.
That
works pretty sweet though.
It could be a sweet finisher, like like Esper versus Esper or something like that. We got like a billion lands. Like you board out your Revelations into Dead to the Deathless, and like just fireball you.
Yeah, that's maybe be on that.
Some hope. Otherwise, I like it in limited, but it's like a one of, and if your deck can support it, like you've got enough like Clue Stones / lands and like Defender guys. Like the deck I played like worked with Dead.
Yeah.
But if I was any more aggressive, I wouldn't want it.
Right. Yeah.
It's tough, but it is like a fireball, so keep that in mind.
Deputy of Acquittals. One of the better bears. Very good. Awesome ability. The fact that he has flash, so he can be an ambush viper if you really need it. And then he has this like awesome extra thing where you can save any of your guys.
Yep.
So basically they just waste their removal.
Right. Very good. Like you got a lot of value out of your dudes.
Yeah. Even like I guess these scenarios where like you bounce your own guy because that particular guy has like some enter the battlefield effect that you then replay in your turn.
Like detain guys maybe.
Yeah. Seems good. Yeah. So he's awesome.
Yeah.
I could see him like. If you're in like the aggro Azorius Detain like drafting guild, like this guy's value becomes like super high
through the roof. And then we have Down and Dirty.
So Down and Dirty is going to be our last card for this section. So we're going to end on a low note, unfortunately. So this is exactly what we were talking about earlier, where it's 2 cards we've seen before. So it's Mind Rot and Regrowth,
right?
Where they just added a mana.
So each. Yeah, you're paying the extra mana for the fact that you have the option of using one or the other or both.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Mind Rot was pretty unplayable, so if you make it a mana more, it makes it still very unplayable.
Yeah, Mind Rot saw like some play in some draft formats when it was legal, but like it was never huge. And Regrowth is very good, but we've seen a ton of other like Regrowth variants more recently.
Yeah.
Like
Noxious Revival.
Like Noxious Revival, which was free.
And still didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a very niche play. So
I think Mind Rot's like an interesting card though, because like it doesn't take much to put it over the edge. Like they kept it the same mana, same amount of cards, but added 3 damage to it in the form of lightning, and suddenly it was broken.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was crazy.
Well, or they do random, and then it becomes sick.
And then it becomes even crazy.
Stupor, which is sick.
Yeah. So like the card's like really on the line there of like between like horrible and awesome.
Yeah.
Like it has no gray area. It's never like, okay, you can play this.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. So come back tomorrow for part 3.
Part 3.
See ya.